Oh no, you've cropped my flipping forehead out again. How does one do this properly? I wasn't built for this life. I've fallen into it. There's so much shit on this table right now. One wrong move and everything goes. This is a flipping logistical nightmare. How does one do this? I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. It's a bit big and scary. Hi. I tried to start this video in such a discombobulated state. I was like, this is never going to end well. So I'm back. I've refreshed myself. I've got myself a coffee. I thought I'd just start with a little chit chat on my bedroom floor because this is where I spend half my life currently. I've been a little bit MIA on YouTube. For some reason I put a video out right before I was about to start writing my dissertation and I thought that's a great idea. Obviously wasn't, because then I obviously had to go and lock myself in the library for like 3 months straight, which was horrible. But we've escaped now and I'm back at home living up my postgrad life. Something we're going to be chatting about in this video. Oh, also, I haven't chatted to you guys about this yet. I got my hair cut yesterday and it's really short. I think I like it. Every time I go to the hairdressers, I'm just like, take off all the dead bits, and then they cut off half my hair and I'm like, oh, maybe I need to stop putting heat on it every single flipping day. But here we are. I like what they've done with the blonde though. However, plan of action of the day. We're gonna go on a drive. And I'm gonna go get another coffee because a girl can never have too many coffees. And then I asked you guys to send me over some questions to waffle about and you pulled through. Let me try and show you how many flipping messages you sent me. What the helly? What the heck? I thought I'd do a little outfit check just before we go get coffee together. I've got this jumper on from Studio 7's Designs. I flipping love this jumper, but someone on TikTok commented that this looks like the Shrek logo. And now I simply can't unsee it. And then I've also got my favourite jeans on from Superdry. I think I was wearing these jeans the last time I filmed a YouTube video. Wild. I think it's because they're like my comfiest jeans and I just want to sit and like be comfy with you guys. Also, I said I'm going to go get a coffee, but I'm feeling weirdly kind of anxious today. As in like I've just got a heavy weight in my chest and in my head that's anxiety. I don't really know. This might be oversharing. Don't know what I've got to be anxious about. But you know when your body's like telling you to be stressed and I don't know why, and now I'm scared that something bad is about to happen. I really hope something bad isn't about to happen. Let's go get a coffee. Welcome to the whip. It's really flipping dark in here, so we're gonna get going. Do I want a coffee right now? I don't know. I'm having a real big life dilemma. I always want a coffee, but is this actually gonna send me into a spiral today? I simply just don't know. If I can't sleep tonight and I'm up all night with raging thoughts, I'm blaming this YouTube video. I've come to the most random car park in my village to film this, so if anyone walks past, they're gonna be like, what is this bitch doing right now? Fuck it, here we are. I'm sat in a car park with a Costa Latte. What more could you want in life? I also fear I'm a little bit dark. Everyone says this whole social media thing is easy. I don't flipping understand how you do it. I've just attached you to my car tripod. I'm sat on a spoon. It's all going on. I was gonna look at my phone to answer some questions to have a waffle with you guys, but my phone is not connected to my wire where it usually is. Oh my god, my life is falling apart. That is actually what we're going to speak about today. We're going to speak about the fact that I fear my life is falling apart right now. I mean, it's not. I actually am feeling okay. But I feel like my life should be falling apart because I've just finished uni. It's flipping terrifying. I just spent the last 5 years of my life at university. I spent 4 years at the Uni of Reading and then a year at the University of Edinburgh. Best year of my flipping life, my lad. And then all of a sudden the world just goes, nope, you're done. You're now into the real world. And my real world currently is filming myself every day and hoping that people enjoy it. Sorry, what? This is not okay. I'm actually feeling very weird about this whole thing because when I started out on social media, the plan was never to be doing this full time. I kind of just started it as a joke and then it turned into a job and I was like, oh, okay, I can make a living off of this. And now here we are. And I always told myself that if it was still doing well when I finished uni, I would give it a crack. And now this is me giving it a crack. But I'm not sure if I'm cracking it very well. I feel like I'm just sort of semi-hitting a hard-boiled egg and it's not really cracking. I don't know if any of that made any sense. I'm going to stop mindlessly waffling and answer some of your questions because you had a lot. And to be honest, I have a lot as well. Like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm going to try and sort of answer them in sections because there was a lot of questions about postgrad life, also a lot of questions about uni life, and then just some other random questions as well. So I'm going to start by waffling about postgrad life because that's currently what's in my brain. So someone just asked, how have you found life post-masters? So let's continue on with my waffle. I handed in my dissertation 2 months ago now. And I feel like my life has sort of been going through stages ever since then. After I handed in my dis, I had another 2 weeks in Edinburgh, which was great. That was not real life. That was just me bungling about doing whatever I felt like doing. I think I genuinely was just drunk for like those 2 weeks, which was brilliant. I loved it. Then I had like a month of traveling and like being away and like having crazy opportunities, which was actually bloody brilliant. But again, it didn't feel like real life. I felt like I was just literally going from like bus, club, another club. Wasn't really clubbing. I was clubbing. That's a big fat flipping lie. And now the last month I have been trying to get my life straight at home. And this bit here is the bit that I was worried about because all of a sudden my routine routine was going to be stripped from me. Not that you have all that much routine when you're writing a dissertation or when you're at uni anyway, but you have a purpose. And I suppose that's maybe what I was more scared to lose. And don't get me wrong, I do feel like I still have a purpose with doing social media, but I'm not sure it's a fulfilling purpose. Oh my god, wait, that sounds really shit to admit. It is fulfilling and I do enjoy it, but there's a part of me that feels like I should be doing more with my life than this. I don't know, that sounds really weird. However, life in general post-masters has actually been a lot better than I was expecting. I think there was some more specific questions that I'm going to answer. Someone just said, what's your screen time? I don't know if I want to answer that. I think today, 2 hours 42 today. Can we see that? I put my screen time on my lock screen to try and remind myself to get off my phone because a lot of the time it's terrifying. But all of my work is on this phone. I don't have a work phone. It's all on here. So when I wake up and scroll on TikTok, which I'm still doing by the way, terrifying, need to break that habit. It's all on here. Someone just asked for my postmaster's plan. Well, let me tell you. I think I want to go to Australia, but oh my god, there's the biggest, fattest fuck of wasp on my windowsill right now. Where have you come from? This is not wasp season anymore. It's fine. There's glass between me and him. I'm indestructible. Oh my god, wait, sorry. The maple hazel lattes from Costa, actual crack. They're not okay. Sorry, back to postmaster's plan. That is honestly the question that I try and avoid answering, because what is my current plan? Actually to just run away to Australia. I wish I was joking, but I'm also having a crisis about this Australia thing. My original plan when I finished uni was I was going to come home from September until December and then bugger off to Australia in January. I'm having a crisis about whether I actually want to go to Australia or if I'm genuinely just doing it because that is what everyone else does. Don't get me wrong, I'm so aware that I'm in a ridiculously privileged position to even be having this crisis, because I'm hoping, touch wood, if I go out there I will still be able to do some sort of social media work, but I'm also not sure if people are going to want to watch me in Australia because, like, a bit unrelatable I fear. But also, do I actually want to go to Australia right now? The thing that I'm kind of majorly crashing out on is I'm actually really happy at home at the moment, and I'm not sure if I want to leave what I have right now. I've also got a really nice group of friends here right now. I think someone asked me about this actually. Someone said, how have you found the transition from uni to graduate socially? This was something I was terrified about. By the time I finished both of my undergrad and my masters, I had such a secure foundation of friends that I felt so lucky to have. Like I was in a position that anytime I was bored, I could put a message on a group chat and be like, hey, who wants to go for a pint? Who wants to go for a walk? Who wants to do something? And there would always be someone free and available. And I was also very aware that I was in a bubble of people where you're all doing the exact same thing every single day. In the sense of, in the last couple of months at uni, all of my friends would be in the library every day. We had an amazing routine going where we'd go to the library, we'd all meet up for like an hour's lunch break, and then occasionally, I say occasionally, probably more times a week than I'd like to admit, go for a pint afterwards. It was brilliant. And I got very in my head about coming home and not having that bubble of like a community anymore. However, I've actually found myself in a really fortunate position that very coincidentally, I've had some of my closest friends move back home at the exact same time. And this was never, ever the plan. Oh my God, there's someone coming into this car park. I have a very weird, I'm going to say weird, that's not the right word for it. I have a very unconventional setup of friends at home. As in, my main friend group here are not friends from school. I have friends from school. However, a lot of them have moved away. They've gone and done the London thing. They're not on my doorstep. They're not in my local village anymore. However, I have some what I call village friends. My villagers. My besties in the village. And weirdly, my best friend from home was my younger sister's best friend from primary school. And for some reason, during lockdown, me and Imi ended up getting ridiculously close. And my friend Imi is one of those people that's very close to her family, and they sort of have this like extended friend group from like cousins and just family friends and all of that. And because we got so close, she would just always invite me to these family things, and then I ended up getting really close with her family friends. So my main group of friends now at home is my best friend's family friends, which sounds really weird. However, the best thing about this group of people is we're all working in creative industries. We're all self-employed or fun-employed, we're gonna say, which means I'm in a position that if I'm bored on a random Tuesday, I can actually message them and be like, hey, what are you up to? And 9 times out of the time, they're probably like, hey, I'm procrastinating doing work, do you want to do something? And it's been bloody brilliant. However, of course, then you do have the crisis of being like, am I actually moving forward with my life by just staying in the same place that I've lived for the last 23 years? Oh God. Because most of my friends from uni all went and did the London thing. I'm lucky enough that London is only an hour away from me, so I can pop up relatively easily. Like, God, I went and did a London night out last Friday. Terrifying. But I did realise perhaps going out in London, you maybe meet different people to going out in your hometown. Not necessarily better people, but different people. Maybe I do need to branch out socially. I'm just so comfy here, guys. I'm just comfy in my little bubble of a village where the only people you bump into are like regulars in your local pub. Someone said, what's your fave going out drink? Vodka cran all the way. Guys, but also I keep ending up drinking tequila shots. This is dangerous. Caitlin and tequila do not flipping mix. If you ever see me on a night out and you hear the words tequila shots coming out of my mouth to a barman, stop me, take my credit card away from me, or just take the tequila shots yourself. I'll buy them for you, but don't let me consume them because it never ends well. This is an interesting one. What do you do to prevent yourself from spiraling post-grad? I have been close many times, and I've only really been post-grad for a month. However, the biggest thing that I have been doing is trying to keep some sort of routine, in the sense of I'm trying to wake up at the same time every day and try and make it sort of not too late. I've been waking up at 8 a.m, which I know is not that early in the grand scheme of things, but for someone that is self-employed, 8 a.m. feels good enough for me. And I've been trying to maintain some sort of relatively normal work week, as in Monday to Friday, I will be trying to like graft on the social media thing 9 to 5. Then the weekends I'll maybe let myself have a bit more of a downtime. I think what I've realised though is this routine is not that different from the uni lifestyle, whereby you can work whenever, wherever. What else have I been doing to stop myself spiraling? I genuinely think my only technique has been waking up at 8 a.m. and it's been somewhat miraculously working so far. Not sure how much longer that one's going to last for. I fear I've waffled on about myself for long enough now. Shall we answer some of your guys' dilemmas? Oh my god, this one I thought was such an interesting question. Someone said, any dating advice in uni from experience? How much do I want to overshare on the internet right now, guys? Dating at uni is hard. I feel like I learnt that the hard way. My thoughts on this question, I feel like the greatest difficulty with dating in uni is how accessible hookup culture is. That I'm gonna say hookup culture for lack of a better word. I feel like that's a very American way of saying it, but we know what I'm implying. And my dating advice would be to date. Go on dates. If you want to date, you have to go on dates. And that sounds really silly. Why is my advice just if you want to date people, go on dates? This is shit advice. Christ on a bike. I think the other thing to remember when you're dating at that stage of life and when you're young is I do genuinely think boys and girls progress at different stages. This might be a very wide overgeneralization. A lot of the boys that I came across did not want a relationship. If someone says to you they don't want a relationship, believe them. Don't think they're going to change. A 19-year-old boy that says he does not want a relationship means it. However, do not think that is a reflection on you. Not at all. Not one bit. That, I think, looking back, is the biggest piece of advice that I wish I could give myself. I genuinely also think sometimes with dating, it's just potluck. It's just about coming across someone else that wants the exact same thing as you at the same time. And that's kind of hard to find. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. You're young. Don't get caught up on a 19-year-old boy who wears baggy jeans and thinks he's going to be the next Fred again. He's probably not. Just because they want to be a DJ doesn't make them cool. Gonna put that one out there. Someone said, how did you choose your uni choice? I'm struggling to choose. So for my undergrad, I went to University of Reading. Genuinely, when I say I went on an open day there and I just felt at home. The University of Reading had a really beautiful campus. It was very green. It had like a massive lake in the middle, and it was also a relatively small campus-based uni that wasn't too far from home. At the time, I didn't want to be too far away from home. I knew I wanted to be on a campus-based uni. I'm not really sure exactly why. Plus, I knew what course I wanted to do, which obviously inevitably narrows it down. I remember walking around the campus and thinking to myself, I can picture myself spending the next 4 years here very happily. When I went to Edinburgh, I had a very different situation, whereby when I was applying, I was going off of the same criteria of comfortability. I didn't want to be too far away from home. I wanted to be close to my friends. I wanted to be close to my family and all of that shebang. So I was going to go to Cardiff. Because it felt easy. I went to the city, I was like, yeah, this feels all right, it's kind of similar to Reading. And I didn't get the grades. The only other place I'd applied to was Edinburgh, and it kind of just forced me to go there. And I flipping loved it. I learned so much about myself because I was further away from home. Oh my god, there's a massive spider on my wing mirror. Why is my car actually just attracting all the Wind in the Willows characters right now? I fear there's not a spider or a wasp in the Wind of the Willows, but anyway, I went to the University of Edinburgh simply because life pushed me there, and I also had a brilliant time. So how did I choose my unis? Pot fucking luck, to be honest. Make pros and cons lists, they actually do help. Someone just said your uni experience. Mixed. Oh my god, it was a mixed bag. There were genuinely times during my uni experience that there was nothing that I wanted to do more in my life than drop out. In my second year, I got myself into a pretty bad mental state, we're going to put it that way. And also when I started my masters, I definitely had some times where things weren't so fun and fresh. However, I also met the most amazing people. I learned a lot, both academically and personally. I grew as a person so much. I genuinely know that I've come back from uni a billion times more confident than when I left. Interestingly, there were a few questions about school on here, so I might chat a little bit about that as well, because your gal was a shell of a person at school, I fear. I had a lot of questions about tips for freshers. I think I want to do a whole video next week giving you guys freshers advice. I think my plan is to ask you guys to send me in freshers week dilemmas, or just like freshers dilemmas, and do a whole video answering them. So I'm not going to speak too much about freshers specifically in this video, but just know next week I will be deep diving into it. Had a couple of people speaking about finding it hard to make friends at uni. Gal, I have been there so many times. When I say I don't think I felt comfortable friendship-wise at uni until genuinely the end of my first year as a fresher, and not until January, February as a master's student. So that was a good probably 6 months as a fresher feeling shit friendship-wise, and 4 months as a master's student feeling shit friendship-wise. My biggest piece of advice is to just give it time and keep sticking your neck out. Throughout your whole first year at uni, don't stop saying yes to meeting new people. However, also saying this, don't waste too much time and energy on people that you don't see a potential future friendship with. I know I had it a few times where I'd go for coffee dates or drinks with people, and I would leave feeling really drained. And it wasn't necessarily they weren't great people or they weren't interesting. I just didn't click with them. But when I was in these situations, I would always sort of have to treat it like friendship dating. I'd do the like 3 date rule, like 3 friendship date rules. If by the 3rd friendship date I was still coming away feeling drained, feeling anxious, not feeling refreshed from that social interaction, I would try and maybe fizzle that friendship out to create space to meet people that do genuinely meet your friendship requirements more so. And again, that's hard to do. That's easier said than done. And I think you have to know yourself quite well in order to do that, because I noticed myself doing it more so at masters than at undergrad. At undergrad, oh my God, I was actually just friends with anyone. I think maybe my biggest piece of friendship advice at uni is you don't need a massive circle of close friends. You don't have to be friends with everyone. Hi, editing Kate and hopping in here. We'd just like to specify, please be nice to everyone though. When I say you don't have to be friends with everyone, I just mean you don't have to have close personal relationships with everyone you come across. But please be nice to people. Don't be a bitch. That's never good. It's very easy to sort of find yourself in these big, like, going out and clubbing social circles, like obviously people you go to parties with. Just remember, not every one of those circles is your best mate. You don't have to overshare to every single one of them in the club toilet. Keep a nice close circle. And I think that makes finding friends easier, knowing that you don't have to be close friends with everyone. Like, friendship shouldn't be based on numbers, I fear. And just give it time. Time and sticking your neck out there. I said sticking your neck out there to my friend the other day. She was like, sorry, who the flipping what now? Sticking your neck out there. That is a common expression, I fear. Someone just said, what were you planning to do with your degree, from a psych girly needing inspo? I don't actually really know. Okay, that's a lie. My dream in life is to work with kids in a mental health capacity in some way. Whenever someone asked me for a direct career plan regarding to my degree, I would always say I wanted to go into educational psychology in the future. And educational psychology is basically working on improving the mental health system in schools, which for me is something that I'm really bloody passionate about. It's something that I'd like to change. I think it's just such a growing area of need in this country. And if I can ever personally feel like I have even just done a tiny bit to help improve it in some capacity, I will feel like I've actually met my purpose in life. And it's something that I still want to work towards in the future as well. Oh my God, that just like vibrated under my bum. That was weird. I fear our proper diss results came out today because someone on my course just messaged happy. I think that's talking about my diss results. I don't want to check. I don't want to know, to be honest. What was I talking about? What the fuck was I talking about? I literally can't remember. Christ on a bike. Oh, what did I want to do with my life? What did I want to do with my degree? My straight answer to people would always be my aim in life is to get into educational psychology. However, realistically, I would be so happy working as a school counsellor, working as, oh my God, I was watching, what's that show that's based in a school? Educating Yorkshire? I was watching Educating Yorkshire the other day, and there was a guy in it that was, I think, just like student support officer or something like that. I remember watching it thinking, that would be my ideal job. All he does is just chat to kids every day about their like day-to-day life problems. Sign me up. I would love to do that. Get me in there. If anyone knows how to get your foot in the door doing that, I'd love to. Because honestly, once this whole social media thing inevitably fails, that's the dream. I'm actually really sweaty right now, and I haven't got a top on underneath this jumper, so I'm just gonna have to continue to sweat, I fear. I'm gonna answer some school-based ones now. I'm not actually sure that I'm the right person to be answering your school dilemmas, but I'll try my best. Someone just said, what was your best memory from school? Leaving? Did I ever enjoy school? There must be something I enjoyed. I did meet one of my best friends at school, which was great. We used to sit in psychology together and talk absolute waffle. Love it to bits. Someone just said all girls school experience. No, okay, I'm being very dramatic. It really wasn't that bad. I was just ridiculously shy at school, and I didn't make life easy for myself. So I did go to an all-girls school. I found it very cliquey. I think this was the biggest difficulty for me. Don't get me wrong, it gave me an amazing education. I don't regret going there at all, and I did meet some amazing people. However, I found the cliquiness of it very hard. It was one of those ones that, like, if you were a floater, you were an outlier. Like, you had to sit with the same group of people at lunch every single day, and like the groups wouldn't really intertwine. And I found it really hard, like, slotting myself into a specific group. I didn't feel like I sat with the popular girls. I didn't feel like I sat with the, like, cool indie people. I just didn't find a group that I related to. And maybe that was just partly not knowing myself at that time, but like, also, who the fuck does know themselves at 16? So yeah, all girls school experience was mixed. Terrifying, to be honest. Yeah, someone said, were you the popular girl at school? No. Guys, I had a boxy fringe and I hadn't discovered hair straighteners yet. I was not the popular girl at school. I really just simply wasn't. Tips for coping with stress at sixth form. No, it's not going to last forever. It's temporary. It's literally 2 years of your life that are arguably going to be more stressful than what you're going to be doing afterwards. I remember being really surprised when I started uni that the workload genuinely felt a lot less than at sixth form. How I would cope was I would always make myself a timetable, and on that timetable I would always factor in time for socialising or spending time with my family. Give yourself headspace. Prioritise your sleep. Like, God, I feel like I've read countless studies of psychologists being like, you know what, you could study for 12 hours a day, but if you're only sleeping for 6, you're going to do worse academically than someone that's studying for 6 hours a day and getting 10 hours of sleep. I've probably completely butchered that statistic there. Don't trust a word that just came out of my mouth, but don't overwork yourself. And know that once you have got these A-levels out of the way, it's all flipping worth it. Enjoy not having major life responsibilities yet, because trust me, once you start having to do your own washing, life starts to just feel a little bit more shit every single day. Okay, this one isn't school related, but someone said breakup advice. My camera died right as I was about to start giving out unsolicited breakup advice. I fear that was just the world's way of telling me that I'm completely unqualified to talk upon that. However, I think my official dissertation marks might have been just released, and I thought we could maybe finish this video by opening them together, because I don't think I can mentally open them alone. I know I am alone right now, but in spirit, you're here. I don't want to know. I'd got my like preliminary marks a week ago and I was really happy with them. However, they hadn't been moderated yet. So I think the moderated marks have just been out, which means I could actually have failed. Oh my God, I actually could have failed. What if they looked at it and went, oh my God, this mark that we gave you is completely wrong. This is a big old pile of shit. I actually could capture me failing my degree on camera right now. Well, don't say I don't give you guys great content. I think it's this one. I'm really scared. Guys, it wasn't wrong. I actually got an 80. Oh no, it says they still haven't been moderated. What? See, it says on it, no final result yet, but then it says 80. What? The world is messing with me. What does it want me to do? So basically my situation is, they've currently given me an 80, which is wild. But then it says next to it, the marks shown below are provisional and subject to internal and external moderation. They may be modified up or down. Oh, that's really annoying. So I still don't really know. I'll keep you updated. But on that note, I think I'm gonna stop waffling for the day because I have nothing else of substance to say today. Oh, that's a lie. I always have stuff to say. Although I always have stuff to say, but it's often not of substance. Okay, this is what I mean. Love you all. I'll see you soon. Love ya.